Okay, so I am not a YouTuber, I am not a knife reviewer, I just happen to own one of the few of the new Koenig concept / prototype Xenon knives that was just released in Blade Show. And since most people have not had a chance to get a good look at one or handle one, I figured I would do this video. And since I am not a YouTuber or video editor, this will just be one cut with a lot of ums and whatever. So anyway, obviously this is the Arius. I do not have a standard one. I just have this new, I guess, Osseus pattern with the holes in it. This is a mini Arius, and here is the new Xenon, and here is the mini Goblet. And the only thing similar in size to the Xenon that I had on hand is this Shark Knife Co. Waka, so I threw that in here. Yeah, that's size comparison. It should be relatively to scale. Like, my camera is not at a weird angle, so this should be accurate as far as the sizes. My camera is directly above the knives, so the sizes should be a good comparison. As far as thickness goes, the Xenon is fairly thick, as you can see. The scales are a little bit thicker than a mini Goblin, and they're a little bit thicker than the mini Arius. As far as the blade stock, I think the blade is a little bit thinner, but the handles are not very contoured like the Arius. So more like the mini Goblin with just very slightly contoured handles. Yeah, so that's a size comparison. I guess I'll show thickness of the Arius as well. It's about the same. What else would people want to see? I guess maybe close-ups of the actual knife. I'm not sure how the thumb studs are attached to the blade. Maybe they're friction fit somehow. And the hardware is some proprietary design that looks very nice, but hopefully you don't have to take it apart. And the lock bar, unlike most knives, it is not a flat piece that's bent. It is machined at an angle instead of being bent to this angle. And for some reason, so the lock side has this relief cut out so that the lock bar can go into that relief. The non-lock side also has that same relief. I don't know why. It's not like you could use this side as a lefty version. So I don't know why that is there. The other interesting thing is that the lock bar has two screws that you can see, and they screw into this plate. You can see there's a shiny plate under the clip. So instead of the screws going into the handle itself, the handle scale, they go into that insert, which I'm assuming is not titanium. But it gives a nice place for the clip to sit on. Another interesting thing that I don't know if it shows up in the camera, but the clip only touches in one side because it's milled at an angle, and it doesn't show up. Yeah, there you can see. So this side of the clip is not touching that insert. So as I'm holding it, the left side over here is not touching that insert, but the right side is, because it's milled at a slight angle. It doesn't show up. So yeah, there's a lot of little details that are interesting. I really like the backspacer, because instead of just a plain old, well, I guess the Mini Goblin has some extra milling in there. And the Arius has some extra milling. The Xenon has that nice pattern. And on the inside, there's a channel for the blade to go into. You can see there's a slight channel there. And then they anodized the bolt blue. So there's just a little tiny hint of blue there that you can see. Just like, I like the little details like that. As far as action goes, this camera setup is not great for that. Oh, so you can see I'm in my garage sitting on a 5-gallon bucket, and my camera is sitting on a metal folding chair, and this is an Amazon envelope, because again, not a knife reviewer, YouTuber. But yeah, action is so one of my friends also got one of these, and he lubed the detent track, and that did made it close a little bit more easily. I haven't done that with this one. This is not a good angle to show. Other interesting thing is the lock bar is very far forward, and it's very easy to access it because it sticks out. So the lock bar sticks out right here. So you don't have to like reach your thumb in between the handles to depress the lock bar, but it actually sticks up past the blade. So that's kind of not a typical lock bar design, but it is very easy to reach instead of trying to get your thumbnail in between the handles to. And yeah, I know some people were saying that it looks like it's a big knife. No, it's not a big knife. It's slim, but like the handles are fairly thick, so it doesn't feel like a skinny knife, because it's not. It's just, yeah. And so the Osseus, I don't know how that's pronounced. Osseus refers to this skeletonized milling, I assume, which is a lot of material removed, but since the normal Arius has pockets milled in to the back side, like this one, you can see the pockets. Well, not really, but they're there. This one does not have those pockets milled in, so the material is a full thickness. It just has all the holes milled out. So it is, this one is 4.2 ounces, and the style 57 that I had, I think it was 4.5 ounces. So it is a little bit lighter. Unfortunately, I do not have a carbon fiber Arius to weigh, so I don't know how much heavier or lighter this one is, but yeah, 4.2 ounces. Other than that, it's just a normal Arius, but it does sound better than a normal Arius. It doesn't sound that much different. A little more metallic. But typical Arius action, feels great. Feels great in your hands. Maybe a little bit grippier. And then it's the, it is the Corda pattern milling, in case you couldn't tell from any other social media posts about this. And these are numbered, so kind of like the style 55s and the 57s, these have serial numbers, but they do not have the hand rub blades. So I'm assuming since they're numbered, they're going to be in limited quantities. But yeah, blade is normal Arius blade. Clip, I think the hole in the clip might be slightly larger than the normal Arius clip. And yeah, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the birds singing in the background.